Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the PPC Roundtable. Now, today I am joined in again by Mr. Sandeep, our co founder, and we are going to talk about something really interesting. We are going to look over an account that is doing close to $500,000 a month, and we're going to look at the brand metrics data of it. Now, before that, let me introduce Mr. Sandeep. Mr. Sandeep, how are you doing?
Hello everyone. I'm doing good. Been busy because of the March financial year end and the new prospects that we have in the next financial year in the April. So a lot of new accounts coming in, a lot of existing accounts we are trying to push and close on a higher node. So yeah, it's been a busy month so far.
Yeah, I got it. But that's good problem to have, right? Okay, so let's jump to the screen. Okay, let me share the screen. One thing very interesting that we noticed about this account is doing, you can see, so last 30 days, close to $500,000 in North America. Let me show you some metrics here. This is on an average, this account is doing close to 400,000 to $500,000. You can see here, right, a month. And also, if you go to the ads, the ACOS is pretty normal. They were spending close to $30,000 a month, but that is not most interesting because they're spending a lot. But if we go to the brand metrics tab here, this is available again inside the sponsored product ads. There are three kinds of things here that we need to see. Okay, so Amazon generally divides the brand audience in three parts: awareness, consideration, and purchase. Right. So this is something that structures the whole funnel for the brand, and you can come and see the whole data. So let me explain what is awareness is. Awareness is basically how many people or customers are searching by your brand name, but they are not engaging with your listing or purchasing. That means they are not viewing your product listing or adding to cart or purchasing. Okay. Now, if you go to the consideration phase is basically customers searching by brand name and going to the product listing, or customer directly coming to the product listing but they are not purchasing the product. Okay, whereas the purchase phase is obviously the persons or the customer who are purchasing the product, or it also includes the subscribe and save audiences as well. But one thing that caught our attention, let me show you something interesting. You can obviously download this data and you can prepare something like this, right? And you can download and prepare something like this on a monthly basis so that you can see on each month level what is the stages of audience or how many audiences are there in each phase of the funnel. So let's click on the recent month of February. If you see, we clicked on Feb and everything organizes based on Feb. You can see 1% was awareness shoppers, 72% of the audience was consideration, and 27 purchase were purchase. I will notice 72% of the audience are in consideration phase. That means they are viewing your product listing but not purchasing. Okay. Whereas you'll notice one thing, if I just show you the spend, this is a sponsored product spend. The sponsored product spend, you can see around $22,000, whereas we have shown this account is spending close to $30,000, right, a month. Sponsored brands, it is spending around $510. Sponsored display, 346. The brand at this level not spending at all in sponsored display. We are going to come to that point later on as well. And you can see the sales coming out, right? Feb spend and the sponsored product sales is around $110,000. Sponsored brand sales is around 1,700. Sponsored display sales is around 6,000. You'll notice one thing: even after spending such less, their sales in sponsored displays such high. Now, one thing I'll request Mr. Sandeep to, I think, share the audit that we have done, the audit that we generally do for each account on monthly basis. And there, I think we can see in a more detailed way about what is happening in this, right?
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. It
So we
is.
have this. So we have this audit sheet where we have done the audit based on a lot of different data points. So you can see a bunch of different sheets, about 10, I think 12, 13 different sheets we've got here. Like for example, the data you see right now is basically the hourly level analysis for the account for 2 months. So for about 60 days, we wanted to look at how the account is doing at an hourly level. To find out which hour of the day is the maximum generating hour. For example, 7 a.m. We can see similarly for the weekdays, and over a month also we wanted to look at a month level. And then we also look at the data from a sponsored product point of view, that whether we are spending when we should be, or are we going out of budget when we should be there in the market. So there are a bunch of different reports here that we can, but the main particular one that we would want to look at is the this particular audit report that we have prepared, where we have the ad type analysis with the match type spend analysis that we have. So
Yeah.
as we understand, sponsored product is more of
Is
a,
it is it
of
maxed
our
zoom?
yeah, I've done 200%.
Okay, 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 cool. Yeah,
Maybe I can zoom from here also. Yeah, so
yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
it should be much better. So here we can see different ad types that Amazon allows. Now all of these ad types, the only sponsored display is the ad type where we can target the audience. Whereas sponsored product and brand, either the keyword or the product that we can target, but in sponsored display is what we can do audience. And when we want to target the audience, which are in different stages of a brand, be it the awareness or the consideration, or even the purchase ones, it is very important that we utilize this match type, which is the audience targeting within a sponsored display. So in this account, we know that there is a lot of percentage of audience which is in consideration and purchase. However, the brand is only spending not even a 0.5% of the budget. So it is clearly something that the brand is missing. We can see the sales share also is remarkable. So there is a lot that the brand can do. So whatever they are spending from, let's say, out of 60,000, I think they should be giving, starting with this month, let's say 2% of the budget, and then subsequently increase it to 5%, and eventually combine together sponsored display. 10% is a good distribution, giving to display, because the placements that a sponsored display has, be it product targeting or audience targeting, these are unique placements. Okay, sponsored product or sponsored brand cannot get these placements. Even placements on a homepage of Amazon or off Amazon. So a lot of times we can get placements using sponsored display, audience targeting, all the partnered websites that Amazon has. Something, for example, like twitch.com or imdb.com. So we have seen, people also getting placements there. So if somebody who has seen our product and is aware about the product, they are in the consideration phase, then possibly we may get a conversion if we follow them, be it on Amazon or off Amazon. So this is one thing that this brand should be doing, where they can target, allocate more budget to sponsored display, and that's a opportunity area for us. If we have to improve it, we are likely to increase the spend in this, and take it from somewhere like maybe Exact, where we are very heavily dependent, and allocate it to the sponsored display, or maybe get additional budget. Yeah, so that is what I think we can do with sponsored display.
Yeah. Also,
um
yeah, what
yes.
you talked about one strategy where we can focus, and we have seen there is around 72% audience in the funnel that are in consideration phase, right? And you suggested that audience targeting inside sponsored display is the way that we can target those audiences. And I think there are some other strategies which you can light on, especially we have been seeing a lot of brands not taking so much advantage of the brand tailored promotion. So
Yeah.
do you want to share some light on it?
Yeah, sure. So within display, of course, there is different targeting that we can do. For example, a very classic one is the views remarketing and the purchase remarketing. Um, Knowing the fact what is the look back window, which is the ideal look back window based on the consumption of the product. Something like a coffee product, which is something where we buy up certain packs, which is to be consumed in 30 days. Ideally, it makes sense to do a look back window of 30 days for purchase remarketing. While somebody is in the market and has not made the purchase yet, maybe views remarketing of the least possible window, which is of 7 days, could be something that can be tried. So that is within the sponsored display that can be done. And of course, evergreen VCPM, where we can do impression based targeting, cost per mile. So that kind of a targeting is also a brand can utilize upon. So that is within the sponsored display. But if we look at beyond sponsored display, then we've got something called as brand tailored promotions, which a lot of brands do not utilize. So in this brand tailored promotions, all we have to do is identify the category as per the tailored promotion. So there are multiple tailored promotions that Amazon has. Let me quickly share my screen. And yeah, so I have opened brand tailored promotions. So this tailored promotions, if you see, we have run a bunch of promotions already. Some are completed, some we had to cancel. Now, if we go to promotions tab, and in promotions we have brand tailored promotions, we come to this screen where we can do create a tailored promotions. So when we do create a tailored promotion, the brand that we are doing it for, the name will be visible here, and then all the different audiences Amazon has categorized that we are eligible for. So if the brand is relatively new or not getting enough traffic, likely that we may not have all of these enabled. So in this case, this brand has a lot of traffic, so all of these audiences have already been enabled for it, but you may see some not enabled for you. So there are different sections of audiences that we can target here. For example, brand followers. So if you see, there are about 3235. So brand followers is one such category where all the followers will get the discount that through this promotion that we want to reach. So if I select this and go to next, then all I have to do is give a name of the promotion. So let's say it's a test, and then I have to allocate a budget, customer discount basically. So minimum 10%. So this is, let's say if we go with a 10% discount and allocate a budget of, let's say, $1,000, and then give a start date and end date. Possibly, let's say we pick it from 2 days from now, and then run it for a week or so. So for a week we run, and it's redemption one per customer. So now all the people, all the shoppers of Amazon who follow my brand are likely to get an email where they'll be notified that they can come and buy one product from the brand store with 10% discount. All, that is what a brand has to do. Brand has to do nothing else in order to get this sale. The only sale, the effort that the brand is doing is setting up this promotion with a 10% or a 20% or 15% discount. So that's all so it is very helpful. Something, let's say, if you want to liquidate in that such cases, if you want to gain some ranking, if you want to build some momentum, want to improve your BSR in that case. So all of these kind of functional. So this is one way of audience I have shown. If I go back, there are all different. So brand followers is something not all brands have it, because this brand has put effort through Amazon post to gain the followers. That's why they have about 3,000 followers. But something very common that most of the accounts have it is like potential new customers. So these are the customers who visited your product page, okay, but have not bought from the product in last 90 days. So that is what it also says here. So this is one kind of audience where we can try to attract a new audience, or maybe we can look at recent customers who have bought from us in last 12 months. So there are different options based on what is available for you. You can choose that format and try to see if you can get that extra sale by just setting up this promotion and offering 10% or 15% of discount that you want to offer. And this is only available in amazon.com as of now, is what I believe. So we can make most use of it. So this is one of the way where we can reach out to more audiences and capture them who are either in consideration or is in a purchase funnel already. So this way we can utilize this.
Okay.
So yeah, Sami.
Yeah, got it. So now we talked about how we can target the people who are in a consideration phase as well as who are in purchase phase, right? But let's talk a little bit about the people who are in awareness phase, who are searching our brand name but not engaging with our content. That means not going to our page or not viewing our product or not purchasing, right? But searching our brand name.
So to look that there is not enough data that Amazon provides, though we have some bit of a data to do that kind of analysis as well. So when we do audit of an account, we do pick that up as well to see how is the brand awareness moving into consideration and then purchase. And we also try to compare it with the market. How are we doing with respect to the market? Is there a possibility that even for a branded term, maybe we are not doing better than the market, possibly because competitions are very heavy with respect to the advertising on those branded terms? That could be one scenario. Or we have not focused on those terms. So let's quickly look at that as well. Let me share my screen. So how do we do this? This is one way for us to do is, again, going back to the audit shield, is to basically look at the search query performance data, because that's where we get all the search terms from Amazon. So the way I'm looking at, if I just reduce the zoom for quick bit to just show you this in single screen. Yeah, so I'll zoom it again. But here, if you see, we've got bunch of different terms, and then we have this is all search query performance data, and then we have got different columns here. So mainly if you look at column J and column N, they are talking about add to cart and purchases. So basically they are talking about somebody who is already into the consideration funnel, who are considering our product to be worthy of buying, worthy of bought. So here, if you see, if I put a filter for the branded terms, so that then we can check. If I just type the brand name and press OK, so now you know it did not. I have to click here. ये कैसे होगा समी? क्यों नहीं हो रहा होगा?
एक second.
Yeah. So now it is done. So if you see, I put a filter of brand name here, and all the branded terms are visible. Most likely we'll be masking the data that we have here, but what I have right now in front of me is all the branded terms. So for every branded term that we have here, we can look at how are we doing with respect to the market. So ideally it should be what we see right now. If you see here, all these lines are inclined. That means we are doing better than the market. So if we compare ourselves with the market, we are doing much better than the market in terms of add to cart and also for purchases. So this should be ideally the scenario. If there is a difference, let's say for example, if we have any decline, for example here, we do have a decline here. For example, if we look at this, let me just zoom it a bit so that it is more visible. So if you see this row here, it is declined. So if it is declined, then this is something where we can look at if the particular term has enough search volume. Like for example, in this case, it does not have much search volume, so maybe it is not that important. But assuming that it had a good decent search volume, so if it had decent search volume, then in that case, it is one area for us to look at, that why my add to cart is lower than the market. And purchases also, if it is not, here it is, since it is 0 0, so it's a flat line, neither inclined nor declined. So we can look at this way also, and then understand whether people searching with our branded terms are actually considering and buying our products or not. So add to cart is more of a consideration. Anything after click is basically consideration, but and then purchases here. So we can look at here how we are doing it with respect to purchases and consideration by looking at these two graphs using search query performance for our branded terms. Yes, Sami.
Got it. Okay. So also another thing, we got to know that here obviously the brand has good awareness, right? So obviously people are searching for their brand name because obviously they are doing quite good number in terms of revenue, almost $500,000, which is quite high. Also, I'm assuming they are spending quite a lot of money in DSP as well. And we recently did a podcast about AMC, on how AMC connects the dot between DSP and the other campaign types, right? So that we understand where we are spending and how that pathway of the customer is. Also, another thing, uh, we can probably look at, because this is a brand which obviously we are assuming a lot of repeat purchase will be there, because a lot of people are searching for the brand name and this is something which is consumable. So let's try to look at the repeat purchase behavior, because I think when we downloaded the brand analytics report in the audit, it also gave us access to the repeat purchase that we have created, right?
Sure, I'll share my screen again. So what we are looking right now is a repeat purchase. Let me zoom it so that it's big enough for us to see. Now, we basically looked at last 3 months. So September 23 onwards to February 24, and we can see the total sales. So how does total sales is? So on an average, I would say it is about 400 to 450K on an average. A repeat sales out of it, we can see, is about 30,000. Okay, so about 30,000 is the repeat purchase. So what we can do is we can also look at the change that we are doing with respect to the previous period in terms of repeat ordered sales. So for example, here we can see 31%, 4%, then it's a negative. That means for some reason we are not doing as good as in terms of repeat purchases. So usually the scenarios when we see this negative is possibly because when either fulfillment issues, or not enough subscribe and save offers from the brand, or not enough retargeting for the audiences who have already bought the product. So these three are the main reasons which we see when there is a decline in negative repeat purchase orders. uh, and if you look at total business of the account in terms of repeat, so it is somewhere around 8%. I would say 10% and above is a very good number. In some categories where we also seen 15% plus, but I would say 10% and above is a good number where we are getting a decent repeat. That means our product is being accepted by the customers, the shoppers, and they're coming back and buying again and again. So out of 100, if 10 people are buying again and again, it's a good purchase. So what we need to do is we need to focus on increasing this total sales, if we can increase, so that our repeat also increases.
Yeah, I think one thing this brand can do, which obviously we are starting to do, is focusing more on targeting the consideration phased customers, right, who are into the consideration phase, because we have seen the brand is not spending at all in sponsored display. And that way I think we can increase more repeat purchase, because maybe the customer is looking to buy but the ads are not going to them, right? That might be the reason that the repeat purchase is also low. Also, we are doing one thing. We are doing our next PPC roundtable podcast on going over and checking repeat purchase behavior across different categories, so that you can have a idea on how the repeat purchase behavior happens in across different categories, whether that can be in travel, whether that can be in edible substance, whether that can be in supplements, how that happens, so that we can craft strategies based on that, and you can have a pathway on how we can move forward and increase the repeat purchase as well. So let me share my screen. We have something exciting for the audience. Also, here you can see the SOP. This is a beginner friendly Amazon ads SOP on campaign creation. You can see the campaigns, what are the purpose of that campaigns, target, then metrics that you need to evaluate, what is the frequency of bid optimization, then what you need to optimize, what is the frequency of optimization, what would be the goal for the next optimization, all this kind of things, starting from sponsored products to going over to what we discussed today about creating more product targeting and audience targeting campaigns, or most of sponsored display, purchase remarketing, views remarketing. You can see all this. And the way to get this is just comment below Amazon ads, and we will make sure we share it in the email with you. So I think that was a fairly good discussion today about how we can increase the purchase of account and target those people who are in consideration phase. So thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep, for again sharing such valuable insights today. And we will again join again on the next PPC roundtable. Meanwhile, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.